3 a.m. Oh god, man, I got deja vu on this. Anyway, list of fictional colors. Fictional colors are the imaginary perceptions of color that do not exist for humans. They may include colors as perceived by fictional aliens or colors that are imagined to be perceptible by humans under imaginary circumstances, based on real or imaginary electromagnetic radiation or imaginary alternate forms of radiation. Sub-red, superviolet, peril, and Chi are colors beyond the visible spectrum in Brennwick's Light-Bringer series. Sub-red and superviolet are equivalent to real-world infrared and ultraviolet. Peril is as far below sub-red as Chi is above superviolet, and thus these two colors are at the two extremes of the spectrum. These four colors are only visible to chromaturgical drafters of that color. Parallel and Chi drafters are so rare that these two colors have become mythical. Greenwich has confirmed that Parallel's real-world equivalent is millimeter waves and Chi's is X-rays. Actinic is a new use of an older work by Larry Niven in the Ringworld Engineers for the alien sensation of color in vision-damaging ultraviolet light, for example as seen in wielding torchlight. The term actinic light was also used in E. E. Smith's Lensman series to describe UV light, and in the novel Forlorn Hope to describe the effect of military laser weapon use upon a cloud of mercury droplets. Actinics was also mentioned in Ambrose Bierce's short story, The Damned Thing, published in 1898. It simply referred to a color that humans cannot see. Ultra Indigo was a color and plot point in an episode of television series Eureka, possessing the power to decelerate other photons and distort time. Interesting. Amarchlor and Kalis are colors in the ultraviolet range seen by Klingons in the Star Trek novel Pawns and Symbols by Majel C. Larson. In this story, Klingons sees Amarchlor between violet and Kalis, but see the color red as black. Garrow and infrawhite. Colors invented in Nebula's episode Madness is a Strange Color. Both colors affect the human mind in odd ways, either destroying or creating sanity. Professor Nebulus claimed that he discovered infrawhite by looking underneath and behind the visible spectrum. What do you mean by that? Fuligine, both a color and a textile having that color, associated with the guild of torturers in Jen Wolf's book, The Shadow of the Torturer. The color is defined as the color that is darker than black, and also as the color of soot. In comparison, see the real colors Super Black and Fanta Black. Mole and Glow, an infrared and an ultraviolet color seen by future humans in Victor Emmanuel's The Messiah of the Cylinder. Hulu-Fu, a superintelligent shade of the color blue in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series by Douglas Adams. In Life, the Universe, and Everything, Adams mentioned Adrajak's layer as being painted in the whole spectrum of eye-defying colors, from ultraviolet, I read it right, ultraviolet to infrared. Catching in Liver Purple, Loathsome Lilac, Matter Yellow, Burnt Umber, and Gun Green on the way. Octarine, the color of magic in the Discworld fantasy novels, described as resembling a fluorescent greenish yellow-purple. It was octarine, the color of magic. It was alive and glowing and vibrant, and it was undisputed pigment of the imagination, because wherever it appeared it was a sign that mere matter was a servant of the powers of the magical mind. It was enchantment itself. Squan, a fourth primary color publicized by the experimental band Negative Land. Gel, Wolfire, and Dome. Two new primary colors, and a compound color of Wolfire and Blue, from A Voyage to Arcturus by David Lindsay. Gel and Wolfire are described as just as blue is delicate and mysterious, yellow clear and unsubtle, and red sanguine and passionate. So he felt Wolfire to be wild and painful, and Gel dreamlike, feverish and voluptuous. The colors Stung and Burn are colors in the infrared range seen by albino mutant Olivia Prestage in the 1956 science fiction novel The Stars My Destination by Alfred Bester. Berry, Srinor, Nusp, and Onsible are colors from the Star Wars universe. They are said to be somewhere in the ultraviolet spectrum, which can be seen by Hoods and Kaminoans and some others. Hatun is a color similar to black, only seen by gnomes in the book Fairies by Gail Carson Levin. Sangoir is a color of red so dark and saturated it's almost black. It is also described as the color of blood spilled in moonlight, seen in Lucille's Legacy series by Jacqueline Carey. That's beautiful. Glossim is a fictional color coined by Kibo on his FAQ. He described Glossim as the true color of the sky. So it's basically blue. Smouther is a color from the fairy world in Jack Vance's Children's Garden. The fairy folk find it lovely, but to the human eye it appears colorless. Round and Palo are colors associated with circles of magic beyond white, black, purple, and green in Jack Vance's Green Magic. Plate is one of the colors outside of the natural human spectrum visible to large intelligent arachnids in Fernor Finde's novel, A Deepness in the Sky. Siatan is said to be fourth primary color for Yalia people in Wonderland Online. It is said to have calming properties and appears to humans as a combination of golden and infraviolet colors. Flange is every color of the rainbow all at once. So it's white. In the book The Last of the Really Great Wang Doodles by Julie Andrews Edwards, it is used by the Wang Doodle to impress his bride, and it is stated that it is very hard to do. The Wang Doodle is also capable of turning colors such as grasping, some of which may or may not exist. Aposion, Cosmogon, Gan, Irigo, Peligin, Violan, and Firik, collectively known as the Niche Bow, are colors found only in the subterranean niche of Valbetter Games' Fallen London universe. They are impossible shades of existing colors. Aposion is a bright pale aqua, Irigo is a brilliant purple, Violan has been depicted multiple ways but is usually an iridescent wine red. Cosmogon is golden yellow. Gun is beige with a slight reddish tinge. Peligin is an extremely dark blue-gray that is almost black. And Firik is emerald green. Most of them also have supernatural properties. Irigo causes forgetfulness. Violan improves memory. Cosmogon and Firik are... Oh wait, my screen went blank. Cosmogon and Firik are heavily associated with dreams. Gun is the color that remains when all other colors are eaten. It basically means black. Eldris or gray He is considered the third and an unreal color in La Historia de los Colores, or The Story of Colors, by Subcomandante Marcos. It only exists so the black and the white do not bump into each other so hard. It does so by painting the dust and downs. Glows and flash are infrared colors mentioned in the book Neverness by David Zindel. Frown was said by Stephen Moffat to be the color of the 12th Doctor's kidneys. Supposedly only Time Lords could view the colors. Time Lords. Pleury gloss is said to be the favorite color of Michael in a first season of The Good Place. He describes it as the color of when a soldier comes home from war and sees his dog for the first time. That's beautiful. Unable to recreate this, Tahani suggests blue. Okay. Flix is a color that is out of place, that cannot find itself on the rainbow, as it cannot be found in color pencil boxes or anywhere in this world. It is represented in the book as a kind of beige. When Giraldo personally met Neil Armstrong, he asked him whether the moon has that color, and Armstrong declared that yes, the moon is Flix. Since then, all editions of book Flix contains an additional page with the Armstrong's autographed statement. Flix may be considered a fictional color because, despite the many beige things around us in the story, Flix could not find a place on Earth. The beige used in print should be considered thus a visible representative of the Flix character on the material book, just like a theater actor. Farm is a fictional color that can be only perceived under the influence of the happy dreams drug in John Brunner's novel The Dreaming Earth. Next category is we got a category of unnamed fictional colors. The Color Out of Space by H.P. Lovecraft deals with an alien hue that causes decay and mutation. In The Fourth Color, sung by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, describe a possibly fictional condition called tetrachromacy, being able to perceive an extra primary color due to a rare mutation in the eye's cones. In The Golden Key, an 1867 fairy tale by George MacDonald, a boy sees additional colors in a rainbow in fairyland. He could count all the 7 colors and could see shade after shade beyond the violet, while before the red stood a color more gorgeous and mysterious still. It was a color he had never seen before. On Edgar Rice Burroughs' Barsoom, the spectrum is divided into 9 colors rather than the earthly 7, and the 2 unearthly colors are called the X-ray and the Nin ray. John Carter describes the additional colors as 2 beautiful rays which, to me, were new and nameless. I cannot describe them anymore. You could describe red to a blind man. I only know that they were beautiful in the extreme. The X-ray exerts an anti-gravity force and is trapped in tanks by the red martians to levitate and propel their flying craft. The Ninth ray is processed by the Great Atmosphere Factory to create breathable air for the planet. In C.S. Lewis' 1942 novel, Perelandra, he says of angelic beings, we think that when creatures of the hypersomatic kind choose to appear to us, they are not in fact affecting our retina at all, but directly manipulating the relevant parts of our brain. If so, it is quite possible that they can produce there the sensation we should have, if our eyes were capable of receiving those colors in the spectrum, which are actually beyond their range. In Stephen King's From a Book The characters encounter an alien planet with an unearthly color, which the narrator describes as corpse white. In the season 6 of Futurama, Reincarnation, Fry accidentally creates a rainbow with an extra new color. While the segment is in black and white, it is described as beautiful and totally different from any other color of combination of colors. That was the long list.